Hi, welcome to this reading where I step aside and I tap in to bring information through from your gracious guide, your highest self, or whatever needs to come through at this time. I tend to work in spaces of personal transformation, alchemy, spiritual evolution, things of that regard, to help us grow and evolve on our path, right? So I invite those who tune into my readings to use this as a practice of expanding your own intuition, as opposed to giving your power away, thinking you don't have the answers and you need me to give them to you. Just drop into space and set the intention, if you so choose. I'm going to drum a little bit. Just close your eyes. Set the intention to allow the reading to be felt in your heart and in your body, to know if it is true for you. Releasing any fear, releasing any lack mentality that may cause you to cling to what is not for you. Set the intention to activate and enliven your discernment, trusting and knowing in your own knowing. If you want to place your hands over your heart, take a deep breath and repeat, I connect to the wisdom of my own being. I connect to my own link to source. I am my own channel. Beautiful. Thank you. All right. So I was starting to do my things before I had even fully tuned in. This fell on the floor. I was made aware that I made this deck last year. Never used it. It was actually still in the in the booklet. So felt like I was called to use this. Took them out. Lit my candle, did my things, dropped my cell phone. Candle exploded everywhere. Wax landed on a Master of Your Own Destiny card. And I said, okay, I think perhaps that'll be significant. Let's see. And so I did some drumming before I started the video. And what I saw, it was this group of elders in cloaks. And eventually they made it known it was the Council of Light. And they were holding their hands above and below, and there were golden beams of light coming from sky and from earth. And then I saw an elderly woman of like Latin American descent, I guess. I don't know exactly where it's from, but the imagery had very much like Dia de los Muertos vibes, so perhaps Mexico, but it was just a face and the skin ripped off, skeleton, right? So this is a moment of death, rebirth, shedding that old skin, and understanding and reforming your relationship with the darkness, things that might seem frightening because of the way modern society has labeled them. But the dark is not scary. The dark holds our power. Shadow work isn't just this grudging thing to look at all the things we don't look at. That's where our magic is, right? And so it's through this death, this shedding, this rebirth, that we can start to become master manifestors, right? Conscious manifestors, and the masters of our own destiny. So this is a collective that perhaps has a little bit of fear of these darker spaces and what they hold. And you're being invited to shift your perception of that, because enlightenment is not just casting light about. It is about going into the dark and shining light upon that. We are all of it. We are all of it. And it is about understanding, exploring, owning, and integrating all of it. And then walking that middle path where it's not even about light and dark anymore. It's neutralized. It's neutralized in this unified form of being. And that is that master manifester realm, right? And something that I've started doing that perhaps, I'm feeling called to share with you guys is our ego constantly wants to make sense of things. It constantly wants to figure out where we fit into things. So it'll either, say, oh, I'm wonderful, or oh, I'm crap, or this or that, just whatever. Watch the mind. Observing the mind is so important for these practices. If you're going through activations and stuff like this, there's a good chance you're already at least starting to do these things. But observing the mind, and when you notice egoic thoughts like that come, you can neutralize them. Instead of being like, oh, I'm terrible. No, I'm wonderful. No, neutralize it by saying, I am that I am. The I am presence is that connection to source that lives within all of us. And Yeshua, known as Jesus, when he said, I am the way, that teaching was totally twisted up into lies. He was not saying, follow me, I am the way. He was referring to the Eastern Buddhist teachings of the I am presence within. So he said the kingdom of heaven is within. I am the way. So you can sit and do meditations. I am. I am. I am that I am. You are all of it. So if you think you're wonderful, you can just, I am that I am. It doesn't need to be that serious. If you think you're horrible, I am that I am. It doesn't need to be that serious. And if you feel called, I invite you to work with that. Ancient soul. So now we're all ancient. We're all one, right? All religions, all the mystery teachings, when you boil them down, they come down to that same thing, that we are all one, right? So this isn't so much about the idea that there's a more ancient soul than others, right? But if we break things down in linear fashion for storytelling purposes, within our own journey, right? Because we're in a linear reality right now, so we can experience things that way, and we connect to certain aspects of the oversoul within each lifetime. And so at this time, there's something ancient that's being activated within you that you're connecting to. And so you're being called to take time to heal and to do some spiritual hygiene and cleansing. Getting to this point that you are at right now does not come without trials, tribulations, perseverance, tenacity. Clearly you're already doing the shadow work, right? This is just about going a little bit deeper, because the deeper we go, the more we start to see, the more we can maybe be afraid, and we start to see things outside of ourselves that we think are frightening, and we realize it's all within, right? It's all within. So you're being asked, and now's the time to winter. Now's the time to winter. Now's the time to winter. Winter is restful, so now I meant to say now's the time to rest. It's winter, but I like that. Now's the time to winter, okay? So winter it up. Rest, take time to heal, because we're cyclical, right? And this Western, capitalistic wants us to just be go, go, go all the time, but we're cyclical, and there needs to be ebbs and flows. There needs to be time for energy to integrate, for whatever is unfolding within you to have the space to do that. And that can also be very draining on our bodies. Even this process can be very draining on our bodies. So take the time to heal. And when you're activating like this, you're more sensitive. External energies and things, just like, doesn't mean like attachments or anything like that, but just like energy. Like if you go into a dusty room, you get dusty, you know what I mean? So however you like to cleanse yourself, you can use visualizations like the violet flame. You can do salt bath, or even just salt on your hands. You can do smoke cleansing, whatever works for you. I was going to say I feel called to take one more. And when I picked it up, there was one more left. So don't give up. God is on your side. And God's on all of our sides, right? We're unconditionally loved. But just, you are loved and you are held. Don't give up. Just take time to rest, spiritually clean. And you'll see there's some really profound stuff going on. And right here, go within. You have the answers that you seek. So take the time to meditate, integrate, expand. Okay, starseed deck I'm hearing. Yeah, this is the Starseed by Rebecca Campbell. Rebecca Campbell, if anybody's interested. Her decks are beautiful. I'm seeing like gray smoke, and I can't see through it, but it's not, it's like I'm looking into a forest, right? I can see the tree line and stuff. There's just this smoke that's passing through right here, this haze, this fog. And so what this is telling me is that you can't see the other side of where this journey is taking you, and you're just being asked to trust that. Trust in the unknowing. And that's uncomfortable at first. It gets easier the more we practice it, but we're not always supposed to have all the answers. And then to circle back to manifestation, so much of manifestation comes down to trusting and not needing to have it all figured out and not knowing exactly how it's going to look or where it's going to come from or this or that, and just taking that trust fall with the universe. But there's this song I love by the DJ Grizz. It's called Falling Flying, and it's like, first, like when you start to trust or something like that, it's like it can feel like you're falling, but when you learn to let go, that's when you start to fly. And ooh, chills. Okay, truer words could not have been spoken. Okay, there's a lot of true words. I'm neurodivergent, so like I might say something and then be literal about it after. You might also see me so just like whatever, just go with it, just flow with it. I'm flowing with it. I'm like learning more about myself every day. It's an adventure. Because we be masking, okay, and we be like trying to mask, and it's a lot, and it was too much, and we all deserve to be like liberated and free and authentic, and we're beautiful just as we were made. Like that's what we came here to do. That's what we came here to do. So maybe I'm reading for a collective of people that also connect to neurodivergence. There's a big link, in my opinion, to starseeds and neurodivergence. It is not what they want us to think it is. And I will give you an example of this. Autistic individuals, you will see them doing movements like this, right? They're regulating their nervous system. Stimming is a nervous system regulating practice. And then you will look back to some of the like ancient indigenous somatic practices, or you will see that our ancestors were fully aware of the importance of work like this. Even if like a gazelle is running away from a lion, right? And it gets away, it'll shake like energy, that cortisol, all that stuff is like surging through our bodies, and we are supposed to shake it out. It poisons us when it stays trapped, right? So neurodivergent individuals are in the moment. They're authentic. They are connected to their bodies and knowing how to move and their nervous system in ways. And so this world has gotten so loud, right, that everybody's nervous system pretty much, unless they're at a point where they have like really solid practices and stability and whatever in their lives, like this lifestyle that we've created here in the West has everybody's nervous system fried. So everybody could benefit from somatic movements. But I strongly sense, have been told, and have found other individuals that agree that their neurodivergence isn't something negative or bad. It's medicine to the collective. It is so connected to higher consciousness innately. I mean, even when you think about if you have a child who has more support needs, unfortunately, there are many who don't get those needs met and then they suffer in the world. But in more ideal situations with supporting, nurturing parents, when you have a child who has support needs or is just different, that cracks open your mind and forces you to expand. It brings more love into your heart. It brings more patience. It brings widened perspective. And all of that is a part of the path to enlightenment. All of that is walking towards this Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness, whatever you want to call it. That's within us. That's within us. And it's being activated right now. And that's why we're saying, like, why are people more neurodivergent? Is it because of, like, the drugs? Like, no, this isn't a problem. Like, so if you're feeling like your neurodivergence is a problem, like, fuck that. Like, I'm feeling emotional. I feel you felt a lot of pain and a lot of shame because of how you are. And in this time, meditate, rest, connect to the council of light and your guides, and start to try to see this aspect of yourself in a different way and connect to it and truly love it. Baby steps and star ancestors. Action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. It's like that smoke. They can't see the path, like I was saying before. They cannot see the path, but you're being asked to trust your intuition and follow it, even if you don't know right now how that's going to turn out, okay? And hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. This is that ancient activation that's going on within you right now. So you're being asked to take time and sit with this. 3, the Trinity. You're being brought closer to the spot of, like I said, that middle path, right? So the Trinity in, like, Christianity, it's like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. No, it's the mother, the father, and the child, right? Or the light and the dark and the balance point, right? It's this balance point. And we live in a world of polarity, duality, and witnessing that, right? But really it's all one and unified. And when you start to activate these centers, right, the masculine, feminine, mother, father, that has nothing to do with gender. It's just about archetypes. Nurturing, creative, chaotic, expansive, action oriented, direction, protection, the child, the freedom, the liberation to create and to express with wonder, with joy, without needing to have all the answers, and just going through life with curiosity and grace, right? Okay. Jump in. Andromedan adventure. Say yes to change. There's no going back. You've reached a turning point in your spiritual evolution, and there's no going back. You are becoming more yourself, right? And that can feel new, different, scary. Embrace it, because it is just our past self that doesn't want to leave, that is trying to keep us safe, that fears it, right? And meet that aspect like that mothering, nurturing, loving, compassionate being, knowing that it's afraid, and that it's an aspect of you that wants to keep you safe, and then it needs to be nurtured, and then it needs to also be guided and directed with that more masculine, paternal energy, right? Guided and directed so that it can feel safe enough to become the liberated inner child, as opposed to the fearful, wounded, past version selves, inner child. And so, yeah, lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. And to me, this could speak to things outside of yourself, people, places, things, habits, whatever. But to me, this is talking about, see, there's like the darkness, the subconscious spaces. There's all these stars, and it's beautiful. And like through opening the veil, the light is starting to come in. So you're being asked to let go of what's unaligned within you. What stories do you hold about yourself, about others? What beliefs, what limiting beliefs? That's what you're being asked to let go of, because it's from these subconscious spaces that we manifest from. So that's why it's always about trying to become more and more aware and integrating of our shadow, our subconscious. Wow, I totally just lost my train of thought there. Anyway, so becoming familiar with these aspects and shifting these stories, realizing that we carry so many stories and impressions that other people have put on us that aren't true and we don't need to hold anymore. So that's what you're being invited to do. This is a really powerful place. This is great work. And it can feel really difficult and scary, and like you're lost and maybe going in the wrong direction. And like there was chaos, like I was dropping things and the candle exploded everywhere. So you might be like feeling a lot of chaos. The energy is being shaken up inside of you. Just trust that everything is okay and surrender. Okay, what's that one? This is the Ancient Stones Oracle, by the way, by the same Rebecca Campbell. The Sanctuary, harmony, balance, joy, contentment. So yeah, like I said, it's this chaos. It can feel really uncomfortable. Like, look, jump in. What the heck is this person jumping into? Is it like a black hole? Is it a wormhole? Is it a portal? I don't know. It seems probably a little chaotic, but you're being asked to trust it. And that's like sort of either where you're at or where you're coming to right now. But this is what's on the other side. And it's beautiful. The rainbow is standing out to me as chakra activations. Cleansing, right? This light is coming up into the rainbow. It's like the Council of Light. This is like a big, you're being assisted energetically, as we always are, right? But we meet halfway, so you're doing this awesome work, and because of that, you're like really getting this support, and your own being is doing this work within itself, and that's powerful. Yeah, and then I had put them upside down, so when I see this was the first card, I'm being told to take it. Stone of Destiny, life path, ambition. Yes. So you just walk in through this new beginning. And you're like, what's this beam of light over here? And you go and you're like, oh my goodness, it's my life path. It's my destiny. I can't believe I found it. We're going into the darkness. That's how it goes. Yeah, see, look, by going into the darkness. I've tried so hard not to do the bang. I was born in the darkness. Bred from it. I haven't even seen that movie, but I love doing that voice. The darkness is my ally. And it is. The darkness is your ally. Not evil is your ally. Let go of that association. The secret chamber, potency, deep connection, treasure. Like I said, that treasure is in there, bro. See? Look, so pretty. Okay. So it's like, oh my God, I go into the dark, but there's a little light. I'm going to follow it. Oh, so much light. And then, oh, my destiny. So, okay, let me get grounded because Try to fry myself. This is really exciting, guys. Whew, get excited. Get excited. Trust even if you can't feel it right now. This other new beginning is coming. Like, get excited. If this message resonates with you, you are set in a potent place. Your life will change forever. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. Anunnaki light codes, energetic shift, new information, end of a cycle, the ancestral realm, that karmic release, healing the lineage and boundaries. What did I say? Potent time. New life, new beginning. The end is over. Not just like what you carried from this lifetime, but ancestral stuff too. Like, y'all doing some powerful work. Please rest. Please rest. Take a nice bath if you take baths. Like, you've earned it. Your body could use it. Your body, mind, spirit, emotions, all of it. One more. Okay. But then I'm going to stop because this is like getting repetitive. Oh, okay. Not this one. Wrong deck. I'll just put that there for now. It's so funny. I recently did a reading for a friend, and with like the multiple cards, she told me that she refers to people who read like this as chaos readers, and I freaking loved that. Chaos, another energy that I've like worked with shifting my perspective on, because we hear chaos and we automatically think that like, oh my god, it's negative, but chaos is the precursor to balance, stability, peace. Again, there's these polarities, right? The order, there we go, that's the word. There is no order without chaos, and chaos rearranges things to bring them into order. Chaos is a gift. Depends on who you're asking. Let's think about the status quo right now. The status quo is jacked up. It needs to be shaken up. That's chaos. The shaking up, the disassembling of a status quo, that's chaos energy. So, manta ray mother, compassionate kindness, regarding chaos, tying back. As neurodivergence, it's not uncommon for us to be told we're too much, or we're chaotic, or we're this, or we're that. That's medicine. If you feel called, do a little research into Heyoka empaths. It's a Lakota thing. I am not Lakota. I will not speak on it too much. I am not saying neurodivergent individuals are Heyoka empaths. It is just an archetype that, to my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, does carry the medicine of a bit of chaos and humor and mirroring, right? So chaos can be an act of compassionate kindness, right? Because we're here to heal, evolve, and liberate our souls. Our egos don't always like it, but there's a difference between kind and nice, right? Kind is for the soul. Nice is this thing that we're, I'm not even going to go on that tangent. It's not relevant right now. It is a teaching that I think is important, but it's not relevant right now. So, because whatever. Chaos can be a form of compassionate kindness. Reevaluate your view of yourself and see that you are a gift. See, goddess of transmutation, celebrate change. Like I said, take the time to heal and rest and integrate, because you have blooming opportunities, all right? Stuff is germinating, stuff is growing within you. And on the other side of this, boom, is going to be awesome. So I hope this reading resonates. I hope it helps. And I love you guys, whoever you are.